I'm a huge soccer fan, and my favorite player is Lionel Messi. And Messi is known to be the king of goal assists. I've always dreamed of becoming a professional soccer player and playing with him. Having him pass me the ball, and then for me to shoot that into a game-winning goal. But sadly, as a working professional, I don't get as much field time as I would like. So even if he gave me the perfect pass, I know I would let Messi down. Now, what does my favorite soccer player have to do with AI fluency? Well, I want you all to think of AI as your own personal Messi. You're standing in front of the goal. The crowd is roaring, but you've never really practiced shooting. The pass is flawless, but you still miss. That's what's like using AI for communication. AI can deliver the ideal assist, but if you haven't built the skill to finish, to speak with authenticity, your message isn't getting anywhere near the goal. Here's how it plays out in real life. On Monday, I send out an AI polished cover letter that sounds awesome, and it says, "My cross-disciplinary multifunctional project reduced rework by 18%. I thrive at turning data into actionable insights." Yeah, crushed it. And I land the interview. That next week, I want to express the same idea, but now I'm in the interview without my AI buddy. So I say something like, we did some stuff with data, and it was like, good. And suddenly, I don't feel so strong anymore. So here, an amazing cover letter turns into an interview fail. I'm the same person, communicating the same idea, but leaving two very different impressions. And that's because when we use AI to help us write better than we speak, we may struggle when it comes time to communicate authentically in person. Polished text that dies in the meeting room wastes trust, deals, and careers. This erodes confidence, deepens dependency, and shrinks our ability to think and speak for ourselves. That disconnect is growing with the adoption of AI assistants. 75% of knowledge workers now rely on generative AI. Yet the words collapse when they haven't been processed through our own voice. I call that drop-off the fluency gap. That's when over-reliance on AI meets the lack of authenticity. So what causes this gap? Why do we struggle? And how do we fix it? Well, first we need to understand the fluency gap, then improve our comprehension, then polish our delivery. Let's get started with the fluency gap. Using our earlier example with the cover letter, you ask AI and it instantly spits it out. You send it without a second thought. But now you are in the interview and a panelist asks, "How did you get 18%? And you fumble. That's the gap, the ability to hit send without the ability to stand and deliver. And this is happening every day. We are now hitting send at an industrial scale. 78% of organizations have reported using AI in at least in one function in 2024. And ChatGPT has reached nearly 700 million weekly users. These numbers look great, but here is the flip side to it. Emerging research from Microsoft warns about cognitive offloading. AI could actually impair comprehension. Studies show that over-reliance on AI could potentially lead to cognitive atrophy that translates to decreased attention span, reduced critical thinking, and weakened problem solving. Students using AI shortcuts show diminished abstract thinking and creativity. And here is where it gets tricky. Even as organizations embrace AI to enhance our work, we are reluctant to admit we're using it ourselves. 52% of AI users are reluctant to admit they use it for important tasks. And 53% worry it makes them look replaceable. So we hide the assist and then choke on our words. And the mistakes made from these chokes are costly. According to research conducted by Grammarly and the Harris Poll, US companies still lose up to $1.2 trillion each year to miscommunication. Put the numbers together, and a pattern appears. The enemy isn't AI. It's using AI without understanding what it generates. Why? Because we've confused the tool with the skill. We mistake perfect grammar for clear thinking, powerful phrasing for authentic understanding. This creates a vicious cycle. We lean on AI for fluency while our actual communication skills atrophy, making us more dependent and less confident. Translation here is that AI can provide a phenomenal Messi-style pass, but you still have to score. So how do we fix it? Solution number one is to comprehend before you speak. Using our earlier example, I need to be able to comprehend the following: that in our project, we tracked time spent fixing bugs. It was 50 hours in month one. So we improved the process and reduced it to 41 hours in month two. That's 9 fewer hours, which translates to 18% in time savings. Sadly, most AI users don't take this time. They are letting AI do the passing and the shooting and putting themselves on the sidelines. And that's dangerous. Also, the World Economic Forum ranks analytical thinking and interpersonal skills like leadership and social influence among the top skills that employers look for in their workforce in 2025. Employers have noticed human comprehension because in a world where everyone has exceptional grammar, understanding becomes a differentiator. So how do we build it? Here are a few approaches. The first approach is to write first, edit with AI later. That rule of thumb lets you capture your own authentic thoughts before asking AI to refine them. Second approach is to use feedback loop. That is to record yourself summarizing your message in 60 seconds. Watch it once, tweak one thing, and then repeat. And third approach is to practice like an athlete. Messi didn't become Messi overnight. You won't either. So build muscle memory for explaining ideas without a script. Authentic understanding is the key. That's your first touch. Now, let's finish the play. Solution number two is to deliver with confidence. For example, when you've got a solid point, but you mumble through it, the impact? Gone. Here is what changes everything. Confident delivery can increase your perceived value by 50%, according to Warren Buffett. And here are 3 simple tactics for it. First tactic is storytelling. That is to frame your story with WAR. And WAR here stands for what happened, action you took, and result achieved. In our example, the what is that our project's bug fix time was high, 50 hours in month one. The action is that we added simple checks and tests and onboarded the team. The result is that we saved 9 hours, which equals 18% in time savings. Specific, visual, memorable. Second tactic is vocal variation. That is to use pitch, pace, and power to communicate emotion and emphasis, because monotone is the enemy. And of course, the one thing that all great skills have in common is practice, practice, practice. The trend is clear. As AI enhances fluency, human effort should shift to comprehension, context, and connection. So what does this sound like? Well, going back to our earlier example, but now with a human touch, I would say something like, my project cut rework by 18%. Let's talk about saving your projects 2 weeks this quarter. I'll be glad to show you exactly how. Notice the difference? It's the same fact, but now connected to their world. To build that skill fast, here is a 7-day challenge. Every time you think of using AI to help you write an email, a report, or a message, write your own authentic thoughts first before asking AI to refine them. Then read the AI output, paraphrase it in your own words, and say it aloud once. Just once. Read, paraphrase, deliver. That's it. The future belongs not to those who can prompt AI most eloquently, but those who can incorporate AI capabilities with deep human understanding. So go ahead and let AI handle the words when you need it, but never lose sight that you keep owning the meaning, the moment, and the relationships. AI gives us all the perfect pass, but here is what separates those who succeed from those who stumble. They don't just receive the ball, They own the moment. So when that pass comes your way, and it will, remember, AI can pass, but only you can score. Thank you.